and everybody.
Welcome.
Welcome. Yes. So today we're with the YBB coaches, Sir Jason Doyle and Cole Isitz. Guys, you want to say hello?
Wow, I was just knighted. I got a sir. Hello. Wonderful.
At some point, we're gonna go big faces. At some point, we should all make it a goal to be knighted for the YBB. So, guys, today we are talking about. We're going to do kind of a blitz edition, how to build your dream yoga business, but we're going to do it really, really fast and try to just go through this as fast as possible. So any questions or comments before we get started?
No, I want to go fast. Do this. Jimmy John's yoga business training.
Jimmy John's. All right. So Jason, you and I have done this 3 or 4 times together, but so let's jump over to the PowerPoint. So building your dream yoga business. So Cole, you're actually not part of this PowerPoint, but we'll do a quick update. So I'm Leland. I'm the tall guy in this image. I'm Sarah Beth Yoga's husband and the head of strategy. And then Jason is the head of content editing with Sarah Beth Yoga. Jason, what's your title? Do you have a title?
Super Ninja videographer guy that does other stuff.
So Jason's the Swiss Army knife for Sarah Beth Yoga. So he does all the editing, voiceover matching, all this stuff. So if you guys don't know anything about Sarah Beth Yoga, she's got over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Last year, she was so successful, she's able to donate $25,000 to Operation Underground Railroad, which is a nonprofit that she supports. And she's built a really successful membership with thousands of members that get access to her yoga daily. And so the framework that we use to build her business is basically these 3 documents. So this is what we call the YBB3. And so in the next 20 minutes, 30 minutes, we're going to try to take you through all 3 of these documents. Usually it'll take you, Jason, if they sit down, how much time do you think they could take if they took all of these seriously?
Yeah, you could take 4 or 5 hours on them doing research, but a couple hours and you could hammer them out pretty decent.
Cool. Let's jump into it. We're going to try to go fast. So step 1 is building your profit playbook. So we'll just have each coach kind of say 1 or 2 words about each thing, and then we'll hop on to the next one. And again, we'll try to go fast. Jason, I know we have a tendency to be longer than we say. So
true.
Step 1 is your transformation statement. So your transformation statement is the thing that you do. This is the whole foundation of your entire business. So Cole, can you give somebody an example or of a transformation statement or a core offer?
Sure. We'll use yoga obviously as a big starting point here. I think, say I want to help transform. I want to help new moms because I have a new mom. We have number 2 baby in the house right now, but I want to help new moms use yoga to feel better, feel healthier, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right? Whatever that might be. So I want to help new moms use yoga to feel healthy, to feel better. That's a pretty basic one.
Yep. Perfect. Yep. New moms and yoga. Pretty clear. Jason, what's an example of one? And actually we can show yours here, but
show mine in a second. So mine originally, a long form version is I help people who are curious about vegan food to discover easy, healthy and delicious plant-based recipes. Since this, I like to think about it as like somebody's driving by in a car and you need to tell them what you do real quick. So it's basically I help people to feel healthier eating plants. So something like really distilled down super quick. So goals was even a little better. This one's a little lengthy, but yeah, just what you do and the result that people will get when they work with you.
So say it again real quick. Driving by, what do you do, Jason?
I help people to feel better eating plants.
Cool. So the reason that that's important, as you guys will see the way this document is it's right in the middle, and all of these other pieces are going to be built off of that. And so for Cole, as we build this out, Cole, let's just use the new mom example. Feel better with yoga, right? Which is really good.
Perfect.
And then, so let's jump over to most profitable keywords. So Jason, what's the most profitable keyword?
A most profitable keyword is something that you're going to use to bring your transformation to life, but it's basically what people are going to be searching for when you're getting after your transformation. That was a really poor way of explaining it.
Do you want to give it another shot? You want me to do it? Yeah, well, so most profitable keyword. If you're to win one keyword only for your business, then
There you go.
then that keyword will give you enough traffic to basically build a really successful business. So you don't need to be known for everything. Your most profitable keyword is the word that if you were known for that word, you can build an entire business off of it. So in Cole's example, Jason, go ahead and talk about your example first, and then we'll have Cole share his example.
Yeah, so something that I want to gain authority in and have be my most profitable keyword is, there's a few options, is vegan for beginners. So keyword doesn't have to mean it's keywords. It can be in like a phrase. But so vegan for beginners. So I type that into my little Google bar. Or this is actually from YouTube, Google, either one. You want to type that in. And then you'll see vegan for beginners meal plan, vegan for beginners grocery list, vegan for beginners weight loss. Those are kind of like my most profitable keywords, but vegan for beginners is my main one. So any videos that I create or anything, I'd want to keep that in my title, because that's really what I'm targeting is those keywords. And then there's just a bunch of other variations of it, plans, grocery lists, all that kind of stuff.
Cool. And then Cole, if you were to think about a most profit, I know we're putting you on the spot. You've done this before. What might be a most profitable keyword if your transformation is, I help new moms feel better with yoga?
Yeah, I would start out going for either new mom yoga or yoga for moms, yoga for new moms, yoga postnatal, whatever, any of those that seem to get the best traction. Then use that as my horse and ride it. Yeah,
yoga for new moms is a great one, right? And a lot of people in our group will do yoga for moms, right? And because moms are, typically can use a lot of relaxation, stress, right? Lots of stuff. So you can have a lot of the same business, and all of the words that you mentioned, Cole, are totally fine. It's just you got to pick one, right? And so you start with one, and then you start building your content out. So let's jump on to the next part here. All right, so proximity partners. So proximity partners are people who are close to your niche, not your exact niche, but people that you could possibly partner with. So these can be YouTube channels, Facebook groups. You can find blogs by doing Google search. Anybody who's got traffic, who's got a pool of people that has your niche, are people that you can do partnerships with. So Jason, when you started doing your proximity partners for your vegan business, how did you think about building it out? And what are some advice you can give people as they get started building out their proximity partners?
Some advice that I always like to think about is getting, like, if you're looking at my YouTube channels, I have Avant Garden, Cheap Lazy, Vegan, this and that. These are like big people, like tons of subscribers, really big platforms, really big audiences, but they don't always need to be the big people. They can be the smaller, the ones with like maybe 5,000 to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. Businesses, just big and small. You can attract eyes from audiences everywhere. So another really, really probably my favorite one out of this entire sheet is filling out is my Facebook groups. Once you go on these Facebook groups, so I went on to Facebook groups of like vegan for beginners, what broke vegans eat, I really start to learn all the questions that my people are asking. And so these partners, and then I can get involved in the group. I can ask questions. I can help answer things. So that's a really, really great way to find like individual people. But as far as businesses, channels, competitors, everything, the big and small, like don't think too small, don't think too big.
All right, cool. Proximity partners for moms, and I'll throw a couple in there just to get you started. Yeah. But proximity partners for moms can be stroller companies, they can be bottle companies, they can be formula companies if you want to go that route. They can be mom groups. There's tons of mom groups. Sarah got invited to like one of her friends was part of like a Christian moms group, and Sarah got invited to do that, and there was a bunch of people there. So what are some proximity partners that moms could possibly look at as they're building out, because this is a good way to get started cheap and free just by adding value to people. So how could a mom, I help new moms feel better with yoga. So what are some proximity partners you could approach?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is where I think the digging into your research and kind of going down some rabbit holes can be helpful as long as you're being organized with it. But like you said, stroller companies, I would go right to YouTube and start searching and seeing what other YouTube channels are highly rated on those keywords. Start running in line with those guys. And the same thing, Facebook pages are great because some of these groups are free, right? And you can join those. Like Jason said, you can start getting ideas of what people are looking for and what's gonna, what say a new mom is requesting as far as certain yoga types or struggles, this and that. I mean, there's a lot that goes into, there's the sleep schedules, there's breastfeeding, there's nap times, how much to sleep, how much not to sleep. Like there's a lot that goes into it. Yoga is just a one piece of it to help the relaxation and everything. So I'd say just dig into the rabbit holes, man. I think that's kind of the best advice. But keep track of where you're going. Don't just scroll through Instagram for 3 hours and say, that looks like a cool one. Find out what these people are looking for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I would say like one of just knowing how we talk to people normally about this one is that they err on the side of caution, and you shouldn't. So like you can reach out to anybody and everybody, and you should. So if you're wondering, would this person be a good fit? Then the answer is yes, email them. Right. And just try it. Right. Because you never know what will work. They might be able to introduce you to somebody else. No, this isn't a good fit for me, but my other friend runs a business that's just like this. And so for proximity partners, like I always err on the side of just talk to everybody. Right. It's better. All right. We're going to try to speed this up, So pain and pleasure principle. So the fourth part over here is pain and pleasure. So in the middle, you have your transformation statement, and then you go over to your most profitable keyword or keywords. Then you have your proximity partners. So this is where you actually dig into the pains and pleasures of your audience. So the way that we like to teach it is you go to Amazon and you look at the best-selling books. And so the reason we do the best-selling books is because books usually sell based off of the titles and the subtitles. People don't actually read the books they buy. They buy the books and then they feel good about themselves and they don't read them typically. But they sell based off of the titles and subtitles. So those are the subject lines and like subheadings that you want to learn for your product and for your service because you'll know your industry better. So what are the top 5 or 10 best-selling books in your industry? And then after you get that, then you go and you read the reviews of those books. So you read the 1s and the 5s, but really we pay more attention to the 2s and the 4s. And so when you look at the 2s and the 4-star reviews, you can figure out what people like, what they don't like, and how you can do it better, right? So Jason, you filled this out. I know you've spent a lot of time. What did you learn doing the pains and the pleasures or the planes? Yeah. And
basically, the overview of this is just a way to get inside your future client's head. And so for me, I looked at some pains of the books. I saw, no veggies. It's mainly beans, corns, and rice. Great. Now I know that I don't want to focus my recipes on just beans, corns, and rice. I want to have a variety of it. So that's a pain, a pleasure. It's easy to source. Cool. Now, if I'm having a membership, maybe I'm going to have like an easy to source section or something like that. It gives you for ingredients. It gets you inside your people's heads and super, super powerful. Actually, one of my favorite things to do on this whole entire process.
Cool. And then Cole, you guys are new moms. So, I mean, rather than even doing this right now, what are some pains and pleasures that you know about and this just, I mean, we're going a little bit off script here, but it's very powerful to look at your own life if you are your target market, which Cole is, and say, what's the most painful part about your new mother's day right now?
Right. I think, one of the things is just from personal experience, a lot of times it feels like she's on an island, right? Where it's like, hey, I feel like this is only happening to me, right? Which is not, a lot of, if it's a sleep thing or a feeding thing or whatever it is, it happens to a lot of different people. So I think a pain could be like not knowing how to get more resources and how to, kind of interact with other new moms. One thing the hospital that we delivered at has is they have a new mom's breastfeeding group and stuff like that. So like people can come and learn and, kind of bounce ideas off each other, which is good for a community standpoint. So I feel like that would be like a pain is like where to get that community set up. A pleasure is something that one thing that we've learned is scheduling. Like a lot of these materials will have schedules of what they suggest is the best for, and again, because with 2 kids now, under 2, it's like everything from 4:00 a.m. until, 8 o'clock at night, something's going on. So, when can we fit in, the workouts, when is it best to feed, the older one at breakfast, down the list. So having some example schedules have been really a pleasure or a helpful point for us. So just to keep it short, those are two of them.
Yeah. So like if you're going to build a business for new moms, then we know that we would want a really tight, a schedule that's really flexible, right? And probably short videos and something that's really quick and easy to do, right? All of those things anything that makes the transformation smoother and easier, that's the goal. Let's hop over to products. So the bottom part here is all products. So this is how you actually deliver your content. So here's the middle's the aim, right? That's your goal. I help people transform their lives in this way. And then the way you actually do that is with products. So your products can be free content, can be free gifts, can be low ticket offers, high ticket offer. You can have sponsored content, partner products. These are all ways that you can actually make money, generate revenue. And so you want to think about it in terms of a stair-stepping scale. Russell Brunson teaches this really well. So the bottom part here is going to be the cheapest, and then it's going to be a little bit more expensive as you move up the ladder. And you can deliver your transformation at a bunch of different price points, right? So Jason, let's look at some of your, how did you break down your product section?
Yeah, well, my free stuff I'm on YouTube. That's bread and butter there. So that's all free stuff, just YouTube videos. And then I'll get through that. One step down, I'm going to get them into my free gift, which is where they exchange an email for something. So it's still free, but they have to give me something. In this case, it'd be an email, and they'll get a 5-day vegan eating challenge. And then after that, they'll be into my funnel. And then I can go ahead and offer them a product, which will be a low ticket, probably about a $30 product, where I can get a membership, a vegan membership. Then we'll move on. If they want something a little bit better, I can do one-on-one coaching where there's more higher touch. You're going to have a higher value. So that's probably going to be around like a $500 ticket for me. And then retreats, which my wife is a vegan chef. So that would be our super high ticket, would be something where we charge maybe $2,000 plus for a week of eating vegan. So that's, yeah.
Or even, I know we talked about this separately, but even a super high ticket retreat where your wife teaches other people to become vegan chefs. And then you could charge even more than $2,000 where you're educating them and then you're also hosting them.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, but that's great. So again, perfect escalation, but all of these are around the transformation, right? So Cole, real quick on the spot. If your goal is to help new moms, walk us through what it could be for free content, free gifts, low ticket, high ticket. What are some ideas that you could throw out here? And Jason, feel free to jump in if you can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's pretty straightforward. It's a very simple system, right? So create free content on YouTube, right? Where it could be certain, scheduling videos or yoga practices, yoga stretches, meditation, whatever it is, whatever free content on YouTube as usual. And then bump into the free gift. Hey, if you like this video, here's something that's a little more personalized. It's all for you. Just give me your email. We'll get you into that funnel. And then the low ticket item could be something as simple as hey, I have a bunch of these videos created that I created just for you, the new moms, right? Here's a $10, $15 a month membership, right? Jump into it, log in whenever you want. It's,
it could even be like, even that could just be like a Facebook group community too.
Exactly. Yeah. So very, very simple, right? Something where there is that community involvement, right? And then a higher ticket item, is always, I think one-on-one coaching is the logical next step. And it could be, access to a bunch of different things. It could be certain books. It could be, actual sitting down with coaches. Like, obviously this is just hypothetical. I'm not a coach from a, postnatal standpoint, but know people who are, right? So if we want to set that up, that would be like, hey, you get, 2 calls every month with so-and-so for 2 hours to talk about this, and the other thing. Whatever that price point ends up being. And then again, super high ticket. Hey, if you had a bunch of kids, obviously it'd be great to bring a family along. It could be a retreat. That's an idea. It could be something where, I don't know, maybe it's like a package of, who knows? That's where it kind of gets, what do you want to sell and put in front of your audience. But retreats are always good things to throw out there. But in this case, it could just be like a higher membership, like a higher ticket membership where you get more access, more videos, more cool stuff. You can even throw merchandise in there too, right? Every month you get $100 worth of whatever sponsored clothing you want from this manufacturer, and then that's a partnership, proximity. So you can play a bunch of different angles on that too.
Yeah, and one thing we don't have here, which is one of my favorite models, is group coaching, which I would say it's kind of a high ticket where it's one coach to a group of people, 5, 10, it can be more than that. But I like that because you can get more value out of your time. You can have 8 or 10 people on one call. You can provide value to all of them. And it's actually a lot of times it's a better learning environment for the students. You can provide a better transformation if there's multiple students in the group that are all asking questions and getting different perspectives. So, but yeah, that was great, Cole. So, but that's how people want to think about it. So, whatever your transformation here is in the middle, what are your most profitable keywords? Who are the proximity partners that you can, do business with? What are the best-selling books in your industry? What are the pains and pleasures that you're bringing to the table? Like, what problems are you solving? And then what products? Like, how are you going to monetize? So, let's keep going. So the next idea is to build your 1-year goals and your 1-year vision. So this is actually part 2 of the training. So again, we're working on building your dream yoga business. We have part 1 done, which is called your Yoga Profit Playbook. And then this part is the 1-year vision and the 90-day goals. So 1-year vision. Do we have Jason's on here? Cool. Yeah. So the Wheel of Life. We talk about this. This is something Tony Robbins teaches, which is really helpful for me. So, everybody's got different things going on in their life. So you've got your finances, your family, your career, and you might be where you are. You're not exactly where you want to be with all of those things. So you're not a 10 out of 10 with your finances, but you want to be a 10 out of 10. The yoga business is just one sliver of your life, right? So wherever you are right now, it might be 0, it might be a 10, but you want to grade yourself at wherever you are for your business. And so in our hypothetical example, Cole and Jason are both very new at their businesses, so we can just go with that example. But here are the questions you want to ask yourself. Where are you now on a scale from 1 to 10, right? Where do you want to be? Because not everybody wants to be a 10 out of 10. Some people are okay with being 5s out of 10 with certain businesses. What does a 10 look like, right? So if you're shooting for a 10, what exactly does that look like? And then here are, to me, kind of the most important questions for clarity. What's your TMI? So what's your target monthly income? Right? And then what does your perfect 24 look like? Your perfect 24 hours. You wake up at what time? How are you spending your time? Who are you spending your time with? What are you doing? Why are you doing it? Like, what is your perfect 24? So before we move on to the actual goals, Jason, Cole, any thoughts on kind of on the Wheel of Life and how people can think about this when they're setting their 1-year goals?
The thoughts that I have whenever I go around this is like just trying to find, like you saying, not everything has to be a 10 out of 10, but like, how do you find more balance? And it's kind of nice to see like just everything a little even. Maybe if you got everything to a 5 and then you can kind of start going up, or because I know in my life, I have a lot of things that are like 8, 9, and 10, but then that means that probably something else is like a 1 or a 2. So it's trouble finding that balance, but that's the goal for me.
Yeah. And then the one thing I'll say about that is like a profitable online business, something that's designed that can generate passive revenue for you, can give you more. Where was our list here? Can give you more fun and joy in your life, can give you more money to give back. It can give you more of a spiritual fulfilling purpose. You can have more time maybe to hire a personal trainer. So this is actually, to me, this is one of the things that can make your entire wheel better if you do it successfully. Not all of them can, right? Because you can have a great family, but if you don't have the time and the energy or the money or the time, right? Those are the two things, time and money. You can't actually solve the other problems. So this to me is one of the lead dominoes that if you can solve it right, it allows you to improve your life, the quality of your life in a lot of other ways, if that makes sense. Cool. Any comments before we hop on to the next, the 1-year goals?
Just two differences on this wheel. I've done this exercise a bunch of times, and it's really good just from like a reflection standpoint, but it's all your perception of where you are, right? So nobody can fill this up for you. You do it. So there's 2 ways. One is you can say, I have like a maximum amount of like numbers, right? Where you're like, oh, I can only be a 5 at fitness or a 6 at spiritual, whatever. Like you can't go outside that, right? So there's like a limiting belief factor here. Where what Leland's talking about is, you find something that can help magnify the rest of it, right? And again, it just helps you find out what you think you're doing well at, what you think you need to improve on, and then you can work on some goals for the next year, next 10 years, whatever it might be. So there's 2 ways to look at it: limiting, or it can help you magnify everything.
Yeah, and so let's jump into kind of, because it gets more powerful as you go. So say that you've got your goal. So now that you've got those questions, right? Let's look at a 1-year vision. And so everybody's different. You might be writing bullet points, you might draw pictures, but just get something on paper for your 1-year vision. And so the things that you can use to inspire your idea would be, what does a 10 look like for your yoga business? This is just your yoga business. What's your target monthly income in 1 year? Does it $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $100,000? Everybody's totally different. Don't feel guilty about it being too high or too low, but have a clear outcome for target monthly income, because that'll be part of the other goals that we break down. And then what's your perfect 24 hours look like? And that's really important as well, because you don't want to solve the money problem, but then have 24 hours that are not enjoyable for you, right? You want to build your business around supporting your life. So what's your perfect 24 hours? Are you working out? Are you spending time with your kids? Are you, are you looking at rental properties? Are you going back to college? Are you whatever your perfect 24 hours is? If you're coaching, are you teaching, right? How many classes are you teaching a day? How long is each class? How many students in each class, right? Get clear on what you want, right? Cool. 1 year vision, and let it be ugly, because it's not going to be perfect, and you're probably going to change it in a day or so anyway. So just who cares? Once you have your 1 year goal, then the next thing you do is you break it down into benchmarks. And so I like to teach this in terms of just one 90-day goal, or one 90-day, just 90 days out. Think of it that way, like a Twinkie that's 90 days out in front of you. I don't think you need to do quarterly goals, right? I don't think it's that beneficial, because you can't time the entire year. So whatever your 1 year goals are, what's a benchmark, right? So Jason, Cole, what are some examples? I know Jason and I have talked. So Jason, why don't you share some of your goals for your vegan yoga, or your vegan business, excuse me.
Do we have them on there?
We did, but we don't. So
okay. So 90-day goals, I think for mine was having 35 people in. Yeah, I think it was selling one, or that would be in my immediate, but yeah, selling 35 people in my membership. I think that's what I had in my 90-day goals. And launching a membership was one of my 90-day goals. And then further later, I think I have it broken down later a little bit more, but then having people, and then also my 90-day goals, I think I had taking my wife out to dinner once a week.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yep.
Yeah, and so Cole, you don't have this hypothetical business where you're helping new moms, feel better with yoga, but we didn't ask you your 1 year vision. So what's your target monthly income for this new business of yours?
Right. Well, it is a hypothetical business for me, so let's own it, right? For a year, I'd say let's put a nice round number of $5,000 per month as a target monthly income, right? That comes out to what, $60,000 for the year. I will say that's a good starting point, right? Now, long term, if does that want to be the end goal? Probably not, but let's just make it easy. But as far as 90-day goals go, let's say, starting out, not having anything done, content creation is going to be an important thing. So I would say in 90 days, I want to have 30 videos, say 50 videos online that are helping through yoga to new moms get healthy and feel better. So 50 videos in 90 days. That's one.
Cool.
And then let's say the second one is more of a personal one where I, work out 5 days a week, no matter what. And then I take my wife out once every week as well. I like that one too.
Awesome. Cool. So then we've got our 90-day goals, right? So let's hop down to resources. So one of the things that's useful when you have your goals is that you create a huge list of ways or things that you have in your life that will help you get there faster. So then you don't feel like overwhelmed. You know that if you don't know what to do, you have these places to go to get the answers to your questions. So for resources, right, there's lots of good marketing business books. There's tons of good videos on YouTube. You can do Google searches to find specific problems. You can do Facebook groups. You can find the training courses. You can find video trainings. There's business coaches. There's consultants. And then there's all of those things within your niche. So Jason and Cole, you guys both have these businesses. Who are the experts that you already know in the industry that you can reach out to just from your past network, right? Jason, what have you done in your past who might be a resource for you that you can connect with?
Oh, I worked at Whole Foods for a while, so I have a lot of connects there from people in the industry for eating vegan. And then yeah, I mean, just as really, it comes down to, you can just find so many, I mean, YouTube and this and that, you know, there's so many awesome, amazing resources. We have such access to this how-to world that, that you can just really hop and find a lot of people online, as well as my wife is a main resource too. She's highly, involved in the vegan chefing world, so in the catering world and everything. So she knows a lot of connects. So she's definitely a huge resource for me.
Well, so yeah, so your wife, but also you've been a personal trainer. So anybody that you've trained with who's interested in losing weight, like you've worked at gyms, right? So if your mission is to help people feel better with a vegan diet, anybody who's interested in health is somebody who's a potential resource for you to reach out to and say, hey, I'm doing this thing. Would you be interested in helping me? Or do you know anybody who'd be interested in losing weight or is interested in doing more vegetables? So resources don't need to be experts always. They can just be people who you've connected with previously and who you have a relationship with. So Cole, who are some resources for your helping moms feel better with yoga business?
Let's see. There's this one yoga person online. Her name's Sarah Beth Yoga. She might be one that could ask some questions of. No, just kidding. But for real though, somebody like like her status, right, as far as in the industry. But also I was thinking more along lines of my wife is has her 200-hour certification, and she went through the whole class and did a retreat and did this whole thing, and that studio she went through she loved it. Like the people were super awesome. The 1 week they did it was New York to finish out their training was great. So again, tons of people from that class that she still stays in touch with, along with the instructors too. So that's another. But again, you just start to look at your personal network and see there. And then if you exhaust that and you feel like you want more resources, just reach out. Like I said, email somebody. Most people email back. The biggest thing I do is just reach out. That's it.
Yeah, and I would say reach out with, you don't need to be an expert when you reach out. You can actually, it's really beneficial to reach out as kind of a beginner and say, hey, I'm starting this thing. I don't really know if it's going to be any good. Would you mind taking a look? Versus saying like, I had this brilliant idea, like say yes or no right now. Kind of taking that I don't know what I'm doing, but would this be good for your audience is, in my experience, has been really powerful for people. So let's jump down to, so your why. So Jason, let's talk about whys and motivation, and what are the ways that you think about your whys now, and how can people think about their whys when they go forward here?
Yeah, we broke them down on the sheet into money, material, mating, family. So I think you're going to have whys kind of in a little bit of everything, is what I experienced. But I like to think like my top like 2 or 3. So for me, money is a big deal. Would I do this for free? I probably would not. So I want to make some money from it. I have my TMI, my $5,000 plus a month, but then also family. And this will allow me, by making that money, it'll allow me to spend a lot more time with my family, take more trips. I don't live near my family, so I can take more trips to see my family, bring my family here. And so those are huge purposes for me.
I think so. For the whys, I think people need to understand that that's really one of the most important things that is on the sheet. Like the goals and things are nice, but the wind in your sail is the why, right? Mm-hmm. If family's the driver, then you can link family to having a successful business, or you can link family to earning more money, right? But family's still the driver. It's not the goal that's the driver. And that distinction is really powerful, because if you have goals that aren't moving your blood, then you're thinking about it incorrectly, right? You need to be thinking about your why. Really powerful. Let's wrap this part up, and we'll crush part 3 right after this. So roles are going to be different for every business. So however you're going to think about your business, if you're a yoga teacher, yoga teaching might be one of those roles. There might be another role that's creating video content, writing emails, technical stuff, right? Setting up a website. Those are the 3 main ones that we see with building online businesses. And to keep it simple, that's really all that we think you need. Create content, write emails, and then technical stuff, which you want to minimize as much as possible. But we're not going to spend too much time on the roles. And then potential actions. So for part 2, at the end, we want people to brainstorm a list of just a bunch of potential actions. So you have this huge list of ideas and you feel excited, and there's tons of things you can do that will help you achieve your 90-day and your 1-year goals. Don't worry about organizing them. Don't worry about how you're going to attack them yet. That's for this next part. But so if you're done, you should have all this stuff: your 1-year vision, your 90-day goals, your resources, your whys, your roles, and then a bunch of potential actions. And we should have both of these documents done now. So your profit playbook, right? This is Jason's, and then this is Jason's version 1.0. I'm sure he's on like 4 or 5.0 now. But these documents are continuously evolving. And then you have your 1-year goals. So you got a really clear direction for what to do the next 90 days. And so now we build your action items. So this is part 3. This is where the rubber meets the road. So building your dream yoga business, part 3. You've got these 3 documents. Now we're working on where the rubber meets the road. So you put your 90-day goals at the top of your sheet, right in the middle, right? And bam. Oh, yeah, there we go. So Jason's 90-day goals in this example was to get 35 people in his enjoying simple vegan food. And so the way we break this down is you have 3 categories. So the first thing is this is things you can do to make immediate results, right? So Jason has 0 members right now. Cole's new business that we're just starting also has 0 members. So the first goal is going to be make 1 sale, right? And so Jason, can you talk about this is immediate actions, things that can help you make 1 sale today. What are some of the things that we put in place for you to get started?
Yeah, just to make 1 sale super easy, I can optimize this is very small. I'm not looking at it, so I'm trying to read it off my action list. But is organic attraction, is fixing my Facebook banner, my Facebook banner, my social stuff, and kind of getting my links to my membership, to my landing page. I can join some Facebook groups. I can join 3 Facebook groups specifically, and which I've joined a lot more than 3, but then those will give me ideas of people I can reach out to and such. So those are some super quick actions that I can take just to get my first membership sale.
Yeah, and so he can write these actions right here, right? So it might be optimize his social media, and this is the same thing for Cole, right? Because they're at the same point. Optimize his social media profile, join Facebook groups, find YouTube channels to follow, and then maybe even start answering questions and adding value into those groups, because that's where the organic attraction process starts. Is, the secret to business is people have problems and you help solve those problems, and then you make money from it. So you got to start solving problems in Facebook groups. So Jason joined some vegan groups, Cole joined some mom Facebook groups. People have questions, you guys solve them. And also over here we have your why. So, for Jason, it might be taking his wife out to dinner. So he just writes that here to remind himself that's why he's doing the things that he's doing. Right. So you always are aware of what's the wind in your sail. Why are you doing the things? Because a lot of times making 1 membership sale doesn't motivate you the way that, taking my lovely wife out for a dinner once a week so she feels loved in our marriage is, might provide more motivation for you to do the things, right? Versus make 1 sale, right? There's no emotional juice, as Tony Robbins says it. So, Cole, anything else for immediate actions that people can take? I know we have a whole list of them, so we don't need to go into them, but just anything that comes to mind for total beginners.
I think those are, from extreme beginners with like 0 content, again, go back to the step 1, right? Find your transformation, start creating content. It's going to suck. It's fine. It'll get better over time. That's step 1.
Yes. Go do the first 2 parts of this training. And then once you get that, you should feel a lot more compelled to move forward. That's the idea. So then the next thing is monthly results. So this first one, the first box is things that you can do to make a sale today. But this next one are things that you can do to make sales on a monthly cycle or a monthly process. So if you think about like harvesting fruit or growing fruit and then getting ready to like actually harvest it. So this is something that you can do that once a month, you might get a big spike in sales. So we talk about running challenges a lot. So Jason wrote for his run a 5-day challenge. So Jason, can you walk us through like a CCC process, or if you run a challenge, how that works for you and how you're going to get monthly sales within that time frame?
Yeah, just running. So I'll create the challenge, and then on my social, probably Instagram or something, I'll do a 5-day countdown, or in an email list if I have an email list. So I'll do a countdown. So I'll put 5 days, I'll build the hype up to it, and then basically enter people into the challenge on the, I haven't really thought a lot about this 5-day challenge of what Wait, what are we asking here?
Well, so you can answer it generically, right? So you can talk about just a normal CCC challenge, or you could talk about how you would do it specifically. So like the normal principles for a monthly result is what's called like a CCC challenge. So it's a countdown, the challenge, and then a closeout sale. So what we used to teach, like a 7-day countdown, and then you run a 7-day challenge, and then you close out at the end. And so when you do the countdown, the 7 days, like Jason was describing, you posting on social media, you say, I'm running a challenge in a couple days, join my email list. And then you're getting that email list, you're getting people on your email list, and it's going to grow and grow and grow. And then the people on your email list are the ones who are going to sign up and buy at the end of the challenge. But that process takes a 7-day countdown, 7-day challenge, and then a 3 or 4 day email sequence. So it takes, 14 days for the countdown and the challenge, and then another 4 or 5 days to actually do the email sale. So on a monthly results basis, you can run a challenge a month. You can make these big sales each month, but you can't do it any faster than that. So some action items that Jason might do are, he might go to Canva, which is a free website to create images, and he might create 7 countdown images, right? He might decide that he wants to do email marketing and payment processing with Kajabi, because that's one he knows that we recommend. So he might go sign up for a free trial with Kajabi, build out his landing page for his free trial, right? And so if he's going to run a challenge and he's taking it seriously, he'll pick a date, right? So what day is the challenge going to start? Where are my 7 images? Writing welcome emails so when people sign up, right? So there's this huge list of things that you need to do to run a challenge at a high level. So if Jason's thinking about doing that for his vegan channel, or if Cole's doing it for prenatal moms, it might be, a 5-day yoga for moms challenge, for new moms challenge, right? New moms is different than not new moms. Right. So Jason, is that makes sense, right? Because you understand all the principles. You're one of the coaches. You understand the CCC. But for you specifically, how might you run a vegan challenge?
Oh, exactly. Specifically. So, what the CCC is what you're talking about?
Yeah. Well, no. So you're vegan. So we've talked about even doing like a 7-day vegan diet challenge, where people join and they do a vegan diet for 5 or 7 days, and then at the end you would upsell them to one of your products or one of your services, right? That's an example of, I'm making it more complicated than it needs to be, but generally that's how you might use a monthly system, right?
Yeah. I wish I can launch, one challenge a month, which I would eventually be doing, or just, or I can have an ongoing challenge where I can just have it continuing, so it can be evergreen after that, or I can just continually have people joining my 5-day challenge. But yeah.
Cool. Can you help clarify it for us? How would you do it? Yeah, real quick, in summary, elevator pitch your 7-day challenge.
So I'd blast a bunch of stuff on social media and say, hey, in 5 days, we're going to be starting this countdown. It's a 7-day challenge for new moms to, stretch, get healthy, get fit, whatever I want you to do every single day, right? So on day 4, day 3, day 2, day 1, and then obviously on the last day, we start the challenge. Every day's got a video that automatically gets emailed out to that person who's opted into the challenge. They're getting a ton of value. They're kicking ass. They're doing well. And then by the end of that challenge, say it's 7 days, obviously we have the email address. They've gotten some value from this challenge, and it's gone pretty well. And then boom, at the end of the day, thank you for the challenge. Here is a super high discount to my online whatever membership. It's usually $100 for you. It's 30. Boom, click here. You get full access. Bada bing, bada boom. On to the next challenge next month. It could be completely the exact same thing. It could be longer. It could be shorter. It could be different. It's just that's the formula. Hype it up, do it, sell them at the end.
Cool. Perfect. Yep. And then annual results. So the last part's annual results. So there's something that we teach that's called sales spikes or tentpole marketing. And so what that basically means is if you look at a year, right, there's times during that year we're going to get these big sales spikes, and then other times where there's not going to be many sales at all. So some of the sales spikes are going to be Black Friday, Christmas, New Year's, Cyber Monday, your birthday could be, right? So those are all sales spikes. So when we look at the last part here, annual results, right? So you can do all this stuff right now. You can start planning out your annual sales spikes today. So what are you going to do for Black Friday next year? What are you going to do for these big holidays coming up? And now that you know how to do a 7-day challenge or a 5-day challenge, that you would plug these in, the monthly results, into a certain month that has a big sales spike, right? So if Christmas is coming up, you might do a 7-day challenge around Christmas, and then you might align your big sales with the big sales events, the big sales spikes, the big tent poles, right? So one of the things you can do today, if you're serious about building your business, is what big event is coming next month that you can plan your business around? What about the month after that? What are the big ones this year that you want to sort of weaponize or use to grow your business? Because we say this a lot. You can have the same offer for, if you make the same offer a week before Black Friday, you'll make no sales, right? You'll hear crickets. But if you make that same offer to the same email list on Black Friday, you can have huge, massive results, right? Just because of the timing, because for whatever reason on Black Friday and on these holidays, people have decided that they have a reason to purchase. And so they do. But you need to plan ahead of them, ahead for them, I should say. So annual results, sales spikes. So one of the things we talk about is create and schedule 3 new challenges, right, for the next year. So Jason or Cole, if you guys were to look at, your industries, what are 3 like maybe tent poles or sales spikes that we could look at for your businesses? And I'll jump in for Cole. I know, Valentine's Day came up last month, right? So you're doing new moms, right? So you could easily do a Valentine's Day offer, right, around Valentine's Day, and then at the end you'd be able to upsell them to another offer. So Jason, what are some other challenges or sales spikes that you could,
For sure, New Year's is going to be one of my best, because that's when everybody wants to get healthy, and that's when everybody wants to clean up habits and this and that. So creating a counting down and creating running into the new year hard, so I'd probably start it right around Christmas, and then January 1st, they can hop into their new habits.
Yeah. And so there's even 2 different ways to approach that. So in the past, Sarah Beth has done, we've done free challenges on the new year, right? And then we've upsold after that, so the second week of the new year, or we've done free challenges prior to the new year, and then you upsell them right before the new year, so they're in for the annual, for the long haul, right? But you're absolutely right. That's especially in the health and fitness industry in the States, that's a huge sales spike, and Christmas is right before that as well. Great. So that hopefully gets people some ideas for sales spikes, and then it allows you to plan ahead so you can get the most out of the timing of when you're doing your offers or when you're doing your sales, because you really don't want to go through all the trouble of marketing and miss the boat, right? Which happens all the time. So it's going to happen a bunch, but you want to minimize it as much as possible, especially as you're going forward. So anything else, guys, with these 3 documents? Any other points that we want to bring up with these 3 documents? Go to work, right?
Go to work.
Yeah, start yesterday.
Yeah, and that's the idea. So once people get these 3 documents, it's going to be a little bit of work up front, but you'll have a good, clear vision of what your industry is about, right? Who you can partner with, what you can offer, what are your pain points, right? And then you can figure out here what you actually want to achieve, which is huge, because you don't want to just be doing things. You want to be doing the right things for you and for your business. And then this is where the rubber meets the road, right? And this is one example, but really, the coaches and the YBB, we've got a bunch of strategies and actions that you can take to grow your leads, grow your business, grow your membership, whatever your offer is. So next steps, if you guys are watching and you enjoyed this video and you want help, you can join our yoga business mastermind, which is, we'll have a link below this video so you can learn more about it. And you can get access to the YBB coaches, the Sarah Beth yoga team, the Happy Jack yoga team, and you can, get all the trainings and all the expertise you need to build your business online. Guys, any other comments for people? Again, if they want to join the YBB, we'll have a link below this video. Any other comments for people who want to start building their businesses?
don't wait. Let's go.
You got it. Yeah. Start now.
All right. Click the link below if you